This is Corners and Wagers. I am Adam Zdroik for Gameweek 17 in the Premier League. I have 4 corners bets for everyone this week. The festive season has begun, is getting underway. All of that is going on. We got a busy couple weeks coming up of Premier League. I'm 22-11 on this show. Let's get to some bets here. The first one, we have Aston Villa are home against Manchester City. I was looking at this one a couple different ways. The first one was Man City under 5.5 corners. That came out to be minus 130 odds. Instead, I'm going Aston Villa for the entire game plus a half a corner, minus 115. That means if Aston Villa tie in corners or if they win on corners, this bet hits. So Aston Villa, one of the best in the league at limiting corners. Manchester City, we know what's going on with Manchester City. They're not really the same team. Maybe they're possessing the ball. I think this is going to be a tough spot for them to get corners, and in turn, Aston Villa at home. I think they can get on the counter, win some corners themselves. So we'll take about the even odds here, plus half a corner for full time. Got a kind of a theme here on this show. Maybe taking the easy way out with some of these, just taking the better team, more corners. But sometimes that's all it is. The other game, Arsenal against Crystal Palace. This one is at Crystal Palace. They played on Wednesday in the Carabao Cup. That was at the Emirates at Arsenal. So this one, I think it's going to be less scoring. There's going to be less scoring than the 3-2 result on Wednesday when Arsenal rotated a bit. Crystal Palace had some kid playing at right wing back. Might be Nathaniel Klein in this one. I don't think it matters, but I think it's going to come down to Arsenal probably going to struggle to score again. I'm not sure, maybe Gabriel Jesus will start and get another hat trick. Maybe that'll happen, but I think it's going to come to the second half. It's going to be 0-0. They're going to be down a goal, something like that. And I think they're going to be pushing for the majority of the second half. And I think that's going to lead to corners. So instead of taking the first half corners on the road, which is always tricky, I'm taking the entire match here. Arsenal minus 2.5 corners full time. That is minus 110 odds. That is at Crystal Palace. Next game, kind of a similar sentiment with this one. This is a Sunday match. Chelsea are at Everton. So again, I'm not taking at Goodison. I'm not taking the first half corners because there's always a chance, Everton come out and I don't know, guns a-blazing. Sean Dyche has read I don't know, maybe they're super pumped after the Friedkin takeover and they just come out, get a bunch of corners, something like that happens. But I don't know if that's even going to happen in itself. So Chelsea minus 2.5 corners full time is minus 115 odds. If we look at a lot of these Everton games, they have a lot of success, 0-0 games, but they get outplayed in a lot of them. A lot of these scoreless draws, they've been outplayed. They're outplayed against Arsenal. They're outplayed against Newcastle. I think that Newcastle match was Everton at 0 corners, Newcastle at 10. I kind of feel like something similar is going to happen here as long as Chelsea don't continue scoring at a ridiculous rate, don't get multiple goals in the first half. I think it's going to be a game where Chelsea have majority possession. They're in the attacking third a lot of this game. And for this bet, hopefully, Everton are either winning in the second half or it's level in the second half and Chelsea have to push and they are able to push. So I just think Chelsea this is a game where it could be Chelsea 10 corners, Everton maybe 2 or 3, but unless there's some renewed motivation here for Everton from their takeover, from the way they've been playing, it doesn't seem like a spot where they're going to be entirely competitive outside of maybe going for another scoreless draw. So Chelsea minus 2.5 corners, full time minus 115 odds. The final one is something similar, but Fulham are at home. So that's why I'm going back to the first half bet. And I think Southampton, we saw a little bit of them, maybe some more motivation. They don't have their manager yet on Wednesday against Liverpool. That was at home. They showed some fight. They lost 2-1. They showed some fight in the second half. Not sure what that means for corners, but the way Russell Martin played, he was always, let's play out of the back. Let's possess the ball, play out of the back, even if that results in 5 turnovers and a bunch of stupid goals allowed. I don't think they're going to be playing like that anymore. That's not their style. They're not going to be playing like that, even though it's an interim manager, even though they don't have a new manager yet. So I think that could mean Fulham are at home. They're going to have more possession of the ball. I think it's going to be a little more sitting back for Southampton than what they've done. And let's do Fulham corners in the first half. So Fulham minus 1.5 corners first half, minus 115 odds. That's all we got. Rotowire.com/soccerchild 48-hour trial. Also check out rotowire.com/soccer for all of your soccer needs. Any questions, find me at Zdroik or at RotoWire Soccer on Twitter. Thank you for listening to this. Happy holidays, everyone. Win some money over the break.